Yo, we are back. Welcome to episode 9, Paint to the Pit podcast. We here. We got the man of the hour, Omega the Iota. We got my bro Jason in the building. I'm your boy Dwayne, Paint to the Pit. Hope y'all had a great, healthy Thanksgiving. We are back. How was y'all Thanksgiving before we kick it off quickly? How was y'all Thanksgiving? Everything was good?
Very filling, bro.
That's fire. That's fire. I think you said something, bro, but I didn't hear you.
Pretty good.
That's fire. That's fire. So, as a part of our Thanksgiving weekend, we had Survivor Series War Games over this weekend. Great event, I thought. In Canada, we had 5 matches. The first match was the Women's War Game match, where we saw Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Naomi, and Io Sky defeat Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Tiffany Stratton. Our second match saw Shinsuke Nakamura defeat LA Knight for the U.S. Championship. Our third match, we saw Braun Breaker retain his Intercontinental Championship against Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus. The fourth match, we saw Gunther defeat Damian Priest. Another interference from Finn Balor, which I thought we was past that. And then the final match, I think the match of the hour, saw the OG bloodline of Roman Reigns, not Solo Sikoa. See, he's still on that OG bloodline to me. But Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, and they teamed up with CM Punk to defeat the new bloodline of Solo Sikoa, the Tama guys, those guys who,
the Tongas.
Yeah, Bronson Reed, big Bronson Reed, who I like his look with them so much. And then obviously who we all may consider the star of that team in the future, star of the company, the Simone Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. So Jay, based on all of those matches or just the event in general, tell me how you felt about it.
I'm gonna start off giving it like a 7 out of 10. I felt like everything that happened was kind of it was like as expected, like they didn't really try to throw any wrenches in there this time. I felt like it was just clean matches straight through. There was no surprises like we seen last year, right, with the return of Randy and CM Punk. But yeah, that kind of just, I don't want to say like it ruined it for me, but just based off the fact of how they've been running Survivor Series lately, I'm like, okay, like maybe something different's gonna happen. Maybe Rock shows up, or I was a little surprised that the LA Knight lost. I do like Shinsuke. I like his gimmick so far. It just seemed like really fast. Like it just happened too fast. I was like, oh, Shinsuke's back, new gimmick, and then put the belt on him like instantaneously. So that was really the only surprise for me. But just excited to see where LA Knight's gonna go next. I like Shinsuke with the belt. No way. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. The Braun Breaker match, that was cool. A nice triple threat. I mean, I didn't really see that changing hands. It's just a brawl. But every match, it just went. What's up?
Not to cut you off, bro, but that match kind of got me tight. I wanted Sheamus to win. I'm not.
Yo, he took a beating though too. I noticed that.
I hardly want when I feel like it's time for him to get that out the way and get that Grand Slam championship out the way.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not against it. I mean, it wouldn't be bad to see him hold the title. I mean, I still don't know why I went back to Braun Breaker. I mean, I get why, because of the Jey Uso shit, having to put him black in the Bloodline story, but it's like, damn, like why'd they even do all that? But
so that Braun could get an extra ring under his name.
Yeah. Just to give him the 2-time.
Start making that time for him to start building that resume. 2-time Intercontinental champion, champion, 2 times. I think 3 times. I think he's like the only 3-time NXT champion.
Oh,
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Damn. All right. So he got some. He got some numbers.
Some stats.
Yeah, for real. But I mean, everything was as expected. What's up?
You said you were shocked about Shinsuke Nakamura?
Yeah, because I mean, in terms of like how quickly that progressed, because it seemed like he kind of just came back, and it wasn't even barely like 3 weeks that he'd been back, and he just like, yeah, I'm Shinsuke, give me the belt, and he got it. I was like, oh, okay, like that's the route they want to take. So
Yeah, I think it
I
was
don't hate
short,
it.
but
It's just more
I
like
think it was powerful though. I think it was short, but it was powerful. I think they brought him back. They gave him an image that looked really well, and they presented him as
yeah.
somebody that was really getting into LA Knight's head. And I think
I
I
think for
agree with it. It
me,
was short, but that was the one belt I was like, yeah, that's changing hands at Survivor Series. If I was sure of one, it was that one.
I I think that we got a little spoiled with the long title reigns, and we forget that these titles are meant to build up these characters. But it's going to be a year champion or even 2 month long champion. It's not really what wrestling is built upon. I know it's dope to see that, and it gives
Yeah,
us more of a full understanding of what the show going to be. But it's not really what it is. That's a mid card belt. Let's get the mid card
Yeah,
going.
that's true.
Let's keep
yeah,
That's
the
true.
show going. 119 days is a long time for LA Knight to be holding that belt. That's almost what, almost half a year.
yeah.
Be 4 or
About
5 months.
four.
Can't ask for much more when it comes to LA Knight. I think it was time for him to give up the belt. I think Shinsuke's only getting the belt so that possibly Carmelo Hayes could take it from him. Me
Mm,
personally, that I think that's going to be a few Carmelo to really shine, show his skills as far as Zeus is snoring hard, but
yeah,
Right with
Zeus.
Zeus, he's got to get his rest.
as far as a performer and things of that nature. I think that feud with this new character of Shinsuke Nakamura will work well for Carmelo Hayes. You
Yeah,
I
for
did
sure.
notice though what it kind of seems like they're trying to do is like they're trying to soften the loss. I feel like of each title change. It's like you just quickly put the belt on somebody, or they find a way to where they can like vacate it, like say the Jay Cargill thing, for example, right? Like she just randomly just turns up injured on top of a car, she's just knocked out. So now we're like, okay, clearly they're gonna try to get rid of the tag titles and just dump that onto somebody else. Because if she's out, then she's out. But it always seems like they try to find a way to change the title without dealing a blow to that character's popularity, at least from what I've seen.
Oh, and I think, like specifically with the one you mentioned, the Jay Cargill thing, I think they're gonna take us on a wild ride with that one. I think somebody who maybe it was Bailey, I think somebody who's potentially on that team is gonna be the one that we're gonna find out that did that to Jay Cargill. And then of course, we hear the behind the scenes rumors of Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair not really getting along. I believe Jonathan Coachman was one of the prominent guys to bring that kind of rumor to the forefront. So I think that's a feud. Even when they started the tag team run, I think we all kind of agreed that was ultimately a feud that we wanted to see. So I think they taking us towards that. I do think that's going to be the match at WrestleMania, Jay Cargill versus Bianca Belair. So that's one thing I was excited about in that match in particular. And even like you said with the title reigns, yeah, I do believe like, yeah, they're softening it up. But like what O said, it's important to like understand that those titles are mid card titles, and we should probably expect the longer title runs from Gunther and Cody. But
Mm.
everybody else, 3 to 4 months is probably where you're going to be at with those title reigns for sure. And that's a lot. That's a quarter of your year. That's a lot. That's a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, that's true. That's true. It's a lot
Excuse
of
me, that's a third of the year. Excuse me, about a third of the year. 4 months, a third of the year.
yeah.
Doing me.
That's a decent
Doing
amount
that
of
my math.
PLEs. That's
No, it is, and I think it's important that we start building up feuds and getting back to a point where the non-title feuds mattered. Like those things have to matter. Like obviously Roman and Solo and the Bloodlines, they doing that, no titles involved. But those non-title feuds, bro, that we grew up on. Like some of our favorite segments and some of our favorite acts weren't for the belt. We go back to thinking about Taker. Taker didn't have the belt too often. Like certain guys didn't have the belt a lot, and we just enjoyed watching them. So
and
we'll see how that goes. Even back to even what we was talking about with Survivor Series. I know Jay, you got through the bulk of the matches. What you feel about the last two? Though I think it was a championship match, Gunther and Damian Priest, and then the OG Bloodline match.
Gunther. I mean, I don't really. I'm tired of seeing Finn Balor. Honestly, I don't know why he
Yeah,
showed up in that match. I knew Gunther wasn't losing no rip. It's just like, damn, like they keep throwing this guy in there. They find some way to just keep screwing Damian Priest over, and it's like, oh my god, like what are they? It gives me the feeling that they just gonna carry that to WrestleMania because they need a match for Priest, and they just don't know where to fit him at this point. But I'm just like, damn, it's so like
Yeah,
that to me is just a 5 out of 10. I'm like, Gunther's gonna win. We know it's gonna happen, but it's just like I'm over it. As far as the Bloodline War Games match, really liked it. I thought it was great. They had the theatrics, they had the performance. I was just a little upset Rock didn't show up. I don't know if that was the expectation, but I thought more was gonna happen, and it kind of just it pretty much went clean. Like everybody got their spots off, they move set off. You know, we seen what they did with Solo, hitting them with all the finishers. We seen Jimmy and Bronson Reed jumping off of shit. But yeah, overall it was cool. It was cool. I just expected more, pretty much.
yeah, nah, for sure. And I completely understand that. How you feel? What you feeling about the pay per view and the matches that you saw, the card and everything, the results? Where you think it's going from here?
I don't know. I don't know about. There's a lot of stuff going on with B right now, and I felt like the pay per view for me wasn't building enough upon the women's wrestling. I
Mm,
felt like there was a real lack of women's wrestling on the show. Other than that one Survivor Series match, like the War Games match that they had, they
Yeah,
didn't have no representation of women at all on the card. So I didn't really like that because they just introduced two new women's belts, and we didn't build up any women at all for
yeah.
the pay that came right
I
after
agree. I agree.
belts. So
The only thing I would add to that, because I want to hear your thoughts and your input on that in particular. They do got. I don't know what the full match card is. I know it's just Cody and Kevin so far, but in 2 weeks they got the Saturday night main event, and I don't know if that's considered a PLE, but I think it's just weird, kind of like 2 weeks in between something of that magnitude. So I don't know if you had thoughts on that, and maybe if you think they're going to highlight the women on that card,
but
or would that be
the
your expectation?
final's gonna be at.
Okay, yeah,
That's
yeah,
the finals. The final for the I don't know if it's gonna be for the Intercontinental Women's and the United States, but for sure. Which one do SmackDown have again? Kind of had a brain
I
fart.
I
think,
think I
nah,
said
you
at the
good.
U.S.
US, yeah. So the US one for sure is gonna be on Saturday. I don't know what they're doing with the women's Intercontinental belt. I don't even know who's like in the tournament.
Yeah,
I don't know. They just got a lot going on for the women, so I think they got to find a way to build them all correctly. I think the whole Tiffany Stratton thing is pretty cool. That's one of the main things I really hope to see, that she captures some type of belt. Yeah, some type of belt. I think it'll be important for her. And then if we focus really on Survivor Series in the main event, I feel like that was everything it was supposed to be. I didn't really expect nobody to come out for real. I expected the match to be a little bit better in a sense. It wasn't a bad match per se, but I thought the match would have been a little bit better, a little bit less spotty.
Mm.
There's a lot
yeah.
of spot stuff, but it was a decent match, like a 7 out of 10. Definitely wasn't the best War Games match in history.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I did like last year's better. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, thinking about it, I did like that one last year.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So it was a straight pay per view. I think the pay per view was pretty decent. I think they had a lot of stuff that they built upon, and
Yeah.
a lot of stuff was lacking at the same time. What you feel about it?
Yeah, bro, I'm kind of somewhere where y'all at with it. For me, I just try to watch these pay per views. Like I used to just watch them as a fan now, but now that we doing the pod, I be trying to watch them as like this weird analyst. Like, let me pay attention to everything that happens.
Objective.
I would have to try to be objective. But at the same time, I thought it was some great standout performances. I think EO Sky always performs well in those matches because she's the spot. She put the trash can over her head and did a backflip off the top of the cage. Like
Crazy.
that was fire, bro. Like that was fire. So you got to give credit. But for me, like yeah, I just try to pay attention to like maybe little nuggets that may resurface soon. Like I said, I do think one of Bianca Belair's teammates is going to be one of the ones that put Jade Cargill through that. I think that storyline moving forward is going to be fun. I've said this maybe like 3 or 4 episodes now, and I just hope we get Gunther versus Brock Lesnar, bro. I know we hear the rumors Brock's back, Brock's not away anymore. He can come back and bro, that's my dream match. To me, I know like maybe a lot of dream matches The Rock and Roman. My dream match, just for the sheer physicality of it, is Brock and Gunther. So I hope maybe Brock comes back at the Rumble. Maybe Brock wins Money in the Bank, something. But I hope Brock comes back and get Gunther because besides that, I don't see anything else exciting I look forward to in that particular feud right
Yeah,
now. I don't see where that's going. And in the last match, I think I actually expected the new bloodline to win that match, if I'm being honest with you. That's the one I got wrong. It's like it just, to me, it just seemed like it made more sense that way. It's going to be interesting to see what this CM Punk Paul Heyman favor turns out to be. That's something that they kept
yeah,
highlighting. And even
yeah.
after CM Punk walked out the ring at the end of that match, it was he gave Paul Heyman a hug and it was, I'm going to come to you when I need that favor. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of what that looks like. Maybe he's going to need Roman when CM Punk goes back into his feud with Seth Rollins. And I think that'll be interesting. So to see what that particular favor is, it's interesting. And I also thought it was interesting at the end of the match that the Usos and Sami Zayn grouped hug Roman and CM Punk individually. I just found that awkward. Like it was like a group hug with Roman and then a group hug with just CM Punk, and Roman wasn't in the CM Punk group hug. So I don't know if there's any foreshadowing there. I may be overthinking it. But besides that, yeah, I think it's cool. Looking forward to first of all, anytime I can get a PLE and no Cody Rhodes, you know I'm happy. So you already
It's
at a
all
5 out of 10 if I ain't gotta hear wrestling has more than one royal family. I'm good. We good. 5 out of 10 off rip. So no Cody Rhodes. Good job, Hunter. Keep it up.
yeah.
Keep it up.
Good job.
Let's keep it going. But yeah, but besides that, I mean, Survivor Series did what I thought it would. Just kind of foreshadowed a few of the future storylines. So, and that I'm excited just to kind of see how this continues to play
The
forward.
Rumble is next, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's the Saturday night. That's in a couple weeks,
Well, yeah, yeah. That
and
new
then
the new one.
what would be January? Is Elimination Chamber after the Rumble, right? Or is it before the Rumble?
Usually, yeah,
Elimination Chamber.
because they had Elimination Chamber. I think for like March something, March 1st, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I watch
Oh, said I'm just a fan.
every pay per view. Well, pardon me. PLE is combining now.
Yeah, nah,
I
for
feel
sure.
like
Let me. Yeah.
we oversaturated with PLEs, but that's neither here
Yeah.
nor there.
Yeah, I was right. I think Jay said it. Jay was right. The next WWE PLE is WWE Saturday Night Main Event on December 14th in Uniondale. After that, the next PLE is the Royal Rumble, which takes place February 1st.
The very first one.
Yeah, it's the Saturday Night Main Event, and then it's the Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble.
So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, I believe this is John Cena's last Royal Rumble, so it's going to be interesting to see kind of when he picked back up. And then, right, Netflix starts next month. So
Oh
I
yeah,
don't really think we're going to get a lot of answers probably until next month in terms of what is what and where they going. Because, you read they want Roman on Raw more because that's Netflix. And so it's going to be interesting. I'm sure they're bringing the drive back at some point too, right? Probably right after
yeah.
WrestleMania or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see that shake up. But yeah, so far so good. It's going to be fun to see where we're going. And speaking of where we're going and what's happening, I don't know if y'all saw, but the NBA got this new All-Star game format that they trying to figure out where it's 4 teams instead of two. So the format, according to Shams, is going to be 4 teams, three NBA All-Star teams, and then the fourth team is going to be the winner of the rookies versus sophomore game. So then you have 4 teams. The semifinal game is going to be to 40 points, and the final game is going to be to 25 points. Interesting change, but definitely want to hear how y'all feel about it. How you feeling about it?